God Tender, Loving Care. Welcome everyone to today's program. I am GODTLC, and it took a little bit, but we're getting closer and closer and closer to reaching that goal of you having a notebook portfolio full of awesome notes that will help you land your first entry level technology position role or level up if you are already in technology. So I am very happy to present to you, and you already saw a sneak peek. I always do that intentionally so that you can get the visual head start for my visual learners out there. We are Tech That Builds Wealth, the podcast about how technology can help you generate money and live a better life. Without further ado, make sure to share, subscribe, like this stream, this podcast. We will begin and delve into today's content, which I curated and curated, created, managed, edited, finally ready for liftoff. So, welcome to Tech That Builds Wealth. We blend faith, innovation, and financial freedom. Welcome back. You all know who I am by now. If you're just tuning in, I am God TLC, and today we're diving into tech trends, leadership, and how we build wealth through technology with God's tender, loving care guiding us. Make sure you type into the chat what part of the world you are joining from. Why does any of this matter, right? When we talk about information technology and cybersecurity and data analytics and business administration and creating wealth, generating money, investments. Well, there is a history in our field, a booming field of innovation, evolution, and being in a creative space. Technology is such a creative space because creation is always at the tips of our fingers. You get your hands on the latest piece of technology, and that's not going to take long for that piece of technology to already have an update, to evolve. Sort of like driving a car, right? When you drive a new car off the lot, as soon as you drive it off the lot, the price goes from what you paid for to because new technologies are coming out. The brand new car that was just released today, well, that was probably built about a year ago, and the new one's going to come out in a few months. That's how technology operates and works. It is this electric, software and hardware that is always evolving. Like, I know me. We talk about gamification sometimes, and when it comes to games thus far, right? The most educational, best games that we've ranked here, and we'll get deeper into that. But at the moment, we have that Pokemon Go game because it includes VR, AR, VR technology and AR technology, as well as other forms of technology, networking, and also uh, OSRS, which people call RuneScape, and then R3. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and they're constantly changing, going back and forth. So history tells us that technology is evolution, and technology is also a wealth builder. We all have access to it. That's how you're able to join today's session. What history teaches us about innovation. From wheels to smartphones, gadgets evolve in predictable cycles. Understanding these patterns equals technology. It equals tech leadership. It puts you in a position of control, power, autonomy, and security. Whether you own multi-thousand-dollar, $1 million technology or studio system setup, or $500 iPhone or $100 refurbished item, that's tech item Android, technology is everywhere. Understanding these patterns will make you a leader. Innovation cycles help us anticipate the future. There are constant evolutions, updates. This is a booming, growing field. And we need to spot the growth wave. What is that? Well, think about an S curve of innovation. One, there may be a slow initial growth, right, with every business or new form of technology, but there is growth. Two, rapid adoption. And that's the tipping point. Might start off slow. You just introduced it. marketing, and all of a sudden, wow, share, 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 share. And then there's a tipping point, right? All the way at the tip. And then three, market saturation and plateau. I mean, really like going all the way up and success and booming and getting the word out. So knowing where we are on this curve helps us move smarter and lead better. That is why data is so important and why we need to protect our data. But then there is disruption. And yes, history has proven that disruptions are at times inevitable and happen. There is a legacy of disruption. For example, in 1837, the telegraph revolutionizes communication, right? And then later came the telephone, then the internet, and then smartphones. What is next? Plasma phones? The takeaway is that innovation builds on innovation. The future is cumulative. It builds constantly and never stop. Even if you notice this slow, it's always evolving. Sometimes we see this, the plateau, fast. Sometimes when we start off, it may be slow, right? Slow motion, get the word out, tweak a few things, front face or innovations and building the designs. All right, everything looks great. That cloud's growth, maturity, and future. Consider that we have hybrid cloud and edge. Those are rising. There are serverless, Kubernetes, and AI integrations that are always relevant. And cloud leadership, which equals governance, cost efficiency, and security. Then we delve into leading the charge in cyber defense, building that cyber armor, which are AI driven threat detections, behavior based security, and as I mentioned, zero trust architecture, which we've spoken about a few times on the podcast and stream. Trust no one, verify everything. Hey, neighbor, can I borrow a Wi Fi password? Sorry, you don't need to apologize, but no, simple. I use your phone? No. And don't feel shame with that because these are ways that us cybersecurity specialists in information technology protect our data. All of a sudden, oh, let me make a phone call on your phone, please. It's an emergency. I'm just gonna make one call. And well, okay, there's approach. Okay, what's the number? It's bang, 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 bang. Okay, and then that is your hard drive, right? It's like a very sacred hard drive. That's what your phone is, as well as a smartphone. And defense is a real thing. Bring, bring, bring. Hey, would you owe us some money. Can you give us your credit card number? No. And that's the way you have to be with your personal devices, as well as working with firms, organizations, etc. That's why, I mean, payphones don't exist anymore, right? I mean, I'd rather you make a phone call, here's some change, there's a payphone. But that doesn't exist anymore. So sorry. I mean, you can walk yourself to the police station. They might let you use their phone, or maybe the gas station. They might let you use the phone at that restaurant. But no, this is a locked system. This is private. This is a work phone. This is not available. No, I'm sorry. And that is part of cybersecurity. From hype to maturity to decline. Product has phases, right? You introduce something, there's growth, maturity, and decline, just like adding a seed to the soil and watching a plant grow. Same with ideas. Technology is an idea that undergoes the same process: introduction, life, advent, growth, maturity, and decline. Some examples are iPods. Type into the comments or chats, has anyone here ever used an iPod? iPad or like what we still use those, right? In 2025, iPads, iPods, iPods. What are those? Look those up. MP3 players, Walkmans, cassette players, uh, 8 tracks back in the day. Well, iPads transformed, iPhones, GoPro cameras, and right, red cameras. Those very expensive $10,000 cameras. They evolve quickly. When the iPad, I did it again, everyone. When the iPod was released onto the market, it was the thing. And nowadays, where is it? Well, it didn't die off. It evolved. There was a merger with the iPod technology, with phone technology. Put those together, add a few more things, and that became modern day iPhone, modern day Androids. What's the lesson there? Well, plan for reinvention or risk becoming obsolete. Nothing is fixed, ever. Everything is always evolving, changing, moving. So, here on God Tender Loving Care and on this podcast, Tech That Build Wealth, I'm going to blend the two, just like we did with the merger earlier. Innovation plus faith equals legacy. Invest in demand skills like cloud, cyber, AI. Earn those certifications. Earn the experience. Freelance, entry level. Become a consultant for your friends and family and move further out into the community and the world. Create value, not just code. Stay ahead of the S curve instead of trying to catch up. Wealth is impact, visibility, and spiritual alignment, all working in harmony, all working together. Spirit led innovation. Now, everyone, I want you to go like this, type into the chat, done. And then I want you to go like this. Walk by faith and by data. Align your calling with your coding. Wisdom over hype. And even better, wisdom and hype. Don't fall for the fads. Fads come and go. Experiment and tinker with the technology that you have at your fingertips, at your disposal, in your resource toolbox. Modify, adjust, learn, innovate. Tender, loving care applies to software, clean code, mindful UX, and secure systems. You have your devices, you have your gadgets, you have your resources and tools of the trade, supplementary tools. Procure those, care for those, experiment with those. These are the tools that will help you generate wealth, spawn more and more equitable opportunities. And a phone is more than just a phone. A phone can be your cinematography machine, your editing station, your music studio. A laptop is more than just a laptop. Laptop can be your workstation, your gaming zone and station. There is constant evolution in technology. Technology is evolution, or one of the best definitions and examples, representatives for evolution. And you've heard me say this in previous streams. It's true. It's very true. I want you to type what kind of technology you currently are using. What are your top 5 technologies Which ones are part of your tool belt? How do they help you? How is the technology that you use an asset instead of a liability? Is there technology that you wish to acquire or want to earn? Type that into the chat, everyone. I really appreciate those of you subscribing, liking the channel. As you know, once we make it to 1K, we will begin those drop parties, awards and rewards for the subscribers. And type into the chat what technology you hope to win. With that being said, everyone, our closing thoughts. Innovation cycles reveal patterns to watch. As we mentioned earlier on our podcast stream, history is so embedded in technology. Technology is a streamline of history. Technology is a huge, very significant chapter of history. Virtually every culture has technology, whether that be our ancestors or modern day people living in the jungles. Technology exists, and it doesn't have to be digital technology, but there's technology, right? When you think about our ancestors, or even among chimpanzees currently, the rock, the nut works. When you think about the chimps and the trees, a stick, a tree. When you think about humans, how far have we come? What technology do you first remember having ever? Was it hooked on phonics? Was it leapfrog? Could it have been a remote control car? Could it have been one of those electric cars that kids ride nowadays? They go about, what, 3 to 5 miles per hour? Could it be a watch that has a tracker on it? Share with me in the chat and in the comments. Cloud and cybersecurity evolves fast, rapidly fast, sonic fast. Build wealth with strategy and service. Let God guide your tech journey. Share this episode. Message me with your thoughts. Let's build the future together. I am GODTLC. You have just joined Tech That Builds Wealth on a very informative journey into technology. See you all later. Until the next one, peace always.